Okay, everybody, here we go. New EP from Eptic. It is called Darkstar. It is self-released, I think. I've heard a couple of these tunes, and it got to a point, I think, where I was like, is this just going to be like a full-blown collab EP, which would have been cool. But no, we've got a couple of other tracks there at the end, the final couplet, that are just Eptic. So yeah, we've got 3 collaborations with Liney, then Abstract, then Space Laces, then we've got a couple of solo tracks just to round the EP off, which is cool as well. 5.5, 6 years since the last EP on Monster Cat, Flesh and Blood. That's absolutely wild to me. Can't quite compute that. But anyway, we're going to crack on with the EP right now. 5 tracks, like I said, just shy of 20 minutes. And the opener, Light Up with Liney. If you're in the chat, give a little hello, YouTube. Turn it up a little bit. Beep, 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 beep. There's going to be a lot of palming. There's going to be a lot of palming because the lighting's doing this weird thing. But there we go, back again. Solid first drop. So the ones that I've heard are the Abstract and Space Laces ones. So I haven't heard this one. This is the only collab I haven't heard yet. That was a good combination of their sounds. Web. Kind of technically have heard this one because I've heard it played out by a few people, clips, and also in the actual live environment. So oh, I like that. It's pretty simple, to be fair, in terms of the amount going on. Oh. Oh. I mean, it definitely sounds like an Eptic and Liney track, to be fair. Loved just before the second drop came in with that la, and then it went light up. That was clever. That was the vintage Liney tag coming right in, and then just dropped in the track title. Very clever. A little bit stripped back in terms of the amount going on. I thought it'd be quite, a little bit crazier, like more sounds kind of flying off in different directions, and just a lot more kind of going on and thwacking you in the face kind of thing, like throwing. I think for the most part with these guys individually, there's a fair bit more going on in their tracks for the most part. So maybe working together, they were like, oh, maybe we should rein it in a bit, because if we do our combined styles in maybe the truest sense, then we might have a little bit too much going on. So there's a little part of me that thinks they've been a little bit careful there. However, it's still a very good kind of combination of their sounds. It's a good offering of their combined styles, and I think for me you can clearly hear that it's both of them. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just in that sweet spot where you're like, yeah, I'm getting the feeling from it, and there isn't too much going on like distracting you with the idea and stuff like that. So yeah, a pretty nice and cheeky opener there. Next up we have Alone with Abstract. Have I seen Eptic live? Many times. Many times. Yeah, it's a bopper. It's a bopper. Fed up of this, man. Stop doing that. So annoying. Yeah, the thing that I like about this one is that I think the bulk of it is Eptic, which makes sense for an Eptic EP, but it could easily have been Abstract kind of taking centre stage, which is not a bad thing in itself, but I think for Eptic's EP you want it to sound more like him. You've got that like Abstract bass house kind of setup, and then you've got, you know, loads of Eptic sounds kind of flying off in different directions. Abstract usually keeps it a little bit more simple than that, not as many sounds going on. But it's good that the main kind of thrust of the track is Eptic. Great vocal samples as well. Bounce of the track's really there. Can we get some bigs in the chat for the second drop? I wish it would stop doing that, it's so annoying. Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. It is an absolute bopper. I think, like I was saying earlier, it's got that bit more Eptic essence kind of pushing through with the foundation of Abstract lying below. Like he's definitely kind of providing the structure and the kind of framework for that tune with the bass house and the overall bounce and the flow, very Abstract. And then you've got all the Eptic flavour kind of, you know, piercing through, which is lovely. And again, the vocal samples really add to the swing of the track overall. It could have been a little bit more different maybe in the switch from the first drop to the second drop, but nah, I mean not many things to fault that one for. Yeah, I can see that one growing on me quite a bit the more I go back to it, which I will be doing a fair amount. Next up, middle track number 3, Crash Out with Space Lasers. It's a fatty. It's a fat wobbler, not a wibbly wobbler, but a big boy wobbler. Bab 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 bab. Pretty mean. Yeah, not gonna lie, I do hear this one, and there is a little part of me that thinks, is this like the most creative thing that could come from these guys together, you know? Sonically great. I love the texture of all the sounds involved, but it just has that, I don't think it quite pushes far enough conceptually. Given how amazing these guys are individually, I'm like, not to sound like Dodge from Dodge and Fusky, but like, yeah, it's pretty good. I think the structure of the track is very good. Doesn't kind of overstay its welcome in any way. Just gets on with the job. You know, drop to drop. Not too long or anything like that. The flow again, very good. The sound choice is great. Just really good production. I think the sound on the ear. A couple of people in the chat were talking about it being a little bit maxed out compared to the other tracks, maybe mixed a bit differently. I just think that sounds like sonically like a very good combination of their respective styles. It just sounds good, kind of meshed together. It's the creative element for me that I'm not that overawed by, if I'm being honest. Like, I love these guys, individually, put out some of the most creative, forward-thinking, exciting bass music in existence, when it comes to this particular scene. But this, I don't know, it just doesn't go anywhere exciting enough for me. It doesn't have like a spark moment. I mean, you could look to the vocal samples again, they're pretty good. They do provide an element of excitement, but that's only going to take a track so far, do you know what I mean? Because the drops are the focal points, and they just feel a little bit, given who we're talking about here, again, some of the, two of the very best that this scene has ever offered. I just don't think here with that track, I just don't know if, I don't know if they really pushed the boat out with that track. For me personally, it just doesn't really go that far. It feels quite safe. I do get that it is hard when when you've got that kind of level of expertise and you're trying to work out how a track can work, between you. It's not easy. It's really not easy. And so you don't want to make something that people just not going to take to at all. So the result of that is that you just don't do anything that adventurous, and you're like, okay, we can make a sick track with sick sounds, but it's just not gonna go anywhere particularly exciting. Like, it's gonna sound sick on the ear, but it's not gonna like venture that far, if you know what I mean. I think that's what we get there for me personally. Penultimately, we have Revenge.
It's getting insane.
Just to remind, these two I haven't heard yet at all, so looking forward. Okay. Ooh! Oh, there we go. Oh. Hey. Wap, 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 wap. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. That's fun. Wap, 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 wap. Ooh. Yeah, this is definitely one of the most fun on the EP so far. It's got that classic, fast-paced, Eptic, jabbing flavour to it. Big fan. And this melody is gorgeous. And these Overlord vocal samples. Read up the scene, Ian. Oh, it's getting a bit steamy in here. Don't know if it's the same with you lot, but it's absolutely boiling over here right now. There it is. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Put my chair up a bit. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, this might be... is it my favourite? It might be my favourite, but I'm thinking that might be the novelty factor. It might be the fact that I haven't heard it before. Maybe. Yeah, that was really fun. That felt like just cheeky Eptic of old, if I'm being honest. And not to say that I'm one of those guys that's just like, oh, well, what, the old Eptic back? That's just not the case. That's not what I'm saying. And he's actually been one of the very best at just keeping his style very consistent across his projects over, what, like 15 years by now? So he's been doing it. He's been keeping the aesthetic consistent. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, we finally got, you know, his style back. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that, you know, this is a sign that he's been able to be consistent with that. You know, the fact that we're now in 2025, got a new EP from Eptic, and it just sounds, you know, it just sounds top. It just sounds top with his design stamped all over it. It's cheeky. The melody has got that kind of somber feel to it as well, which is lovely. Really provides a different kind of emotional contrast for the track, because the heaviness is like, you know, quite mischievous, quite devilish, quite on its feet, and you're like, oh, you know, a little bit cheeky. You know, you don't know really what way it's going to go next, and it's a little bit Dennis the Menace vibes, you know. But then when the midsection comes around and the outro, you're just like, oh, that's actually a little bit sad. And he's got such a good way of flipping the emotional kind of leaning of a tune just in an instant like that. Really, really clever. It's good to get a good solo track from him on the collection. But we have another one closing off the EP, which is Force Field. Track number 5 of 5. Is it another housey little cut? I'm anticipating. I'm feeling a little. Oh, I was reading, wasn't this one the original, this was the original drop for what was going to be the Marauder collab? Yeah, Wall of Death, that's it, yeah, I saw the post. I can hear the similarities, that's why it came to mind straight away. Ooh. You know it's coming back in. You know it's coming back in. I don't agree with that at all. Go and do your interview, mate. Go and do your interview, right? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I suppose it was a little bit slow, that first drop, wasn't it? No hate, bro, no hate. Didn't say that. Ooh. Ay. Damn, yeah, this one's... Mate, these solo cuts are lit. Mate, yeah, this one is, yeah. Yeah. Okay, there we go. First EP from Eptic in 6 years, 5.5 years. Blimey. Oh. A little bit of a sweat on up in here. Bloody hell. It's a good EP. I will say it's a good EP. There's a lot of good material here that I like. I think the one that is standing out for me that is maybe not on par perhaps, interestingly, is the Space Laces one, just because I think it could have, again, given who's involved with that tune, I think it could have gone that little step further creatively, conceptually, with the drops that we get there. And then beyond that, you're just looking at a load of different concepts that work pretty well, I think, to make up a pretty solid EP and project and collection in total. Different kinds of bass music on show. The Eptic feeling just really piercing through the whole thing, which is great. Even after all this time, it still sounds very much like him. I think the collaborations, sonically at least, are all brilliant. Like, you can hear the abstract, you can hear the liney, you can hear the Space Laces very clearly, and the solo tracks to round it off are great as well. Like, a really good way actually of tying it up. But, you know, maybe just a little bit of dividing up between the solo cuts, track listing wise, and the collaborations would have been quite nice. Just a little bit of dividing up, just to have a little bit of a little bit of difference over the stretch of the thing, going through it in order. The artwork has been mentioned as well, which is again really good. He does all the visual stuff, which is just super impressive. Don't really know how he does it, how he found time just to become an absolute expert in that as well. Different moods as well, you know, some tracks here just pure hype, pure banger. Then we've got little bits of melancholy in there as well, just to provide a little bit of contrast, which is needed, because, you know, you want that for a collection anyway. But for the Eptic project, I think it's always paramount and important. So a good collection there. Darkstar, first EP in 5.5 years from Eptic.